Come on, woman. Stop pretending. After all, you're not the first lady to get pregnant or give birth, so why so much drama?
Baby, I'm not faking it.
Of course you are faking it.
If you think I am faking it, come take my place for just 24 hours so you know the feelings and pain I go through.
Just 24 hours, right? Let's do it then.
Yes, 24 hours.
24 hours.
How is the pregnancy going, baby?
No, I don't want this. Come take it back.
Not so soon. 23 hours remaining.
Please, I want to be free. I won't mock you again.
Imagine waking up as a man, with a full 7-month pregnant belly kicking you from the inside, your back feeling like it's been hit by a lorry, and your ankles swollen like ripe pawpaws. All because you told your wife you wanted 10 children. The beginning. A love born of pressure. The story began in the heart of Lagos, in the bustling area of Mashin, where the smell of akara and the sound of grinding pepper filled the air every morning. Our heroine was a woman named Adaze. She was not just any woman. She was a graduate of mass communication from the University of Lagos. A sharp-tongued, sharp-minded lady who knew her rights. She was the only daughter in a family of 4 her father, Mr. Okonkwo, her mother, Mrs. Ngozi, and her 2 younger brothers, Chidi and Namdi. Adaze grew up seeing her mother as a queen. Mrs. Ngozi worked as a senior civil servant, and her father, a business mogul who sold spare parts at Ladipo Market, treated his wife like a goddess. They had only 4 children because, as her father always said, it is not about how many children you have, but about how many you can train properly. Then came Emeka. Emeka Okoro was a tall, dark, handsome engineer from a polygamous family in Owerri. His father had 3 wives and 22 children. Emeka was the 9th child of the first wife. Growing up in a house where you had to fight for food, fight for attention, and fight for the remote control, Emeka developed a deep-rooted belief. The more children a man had, the greater his legacy. He once told his friends, "A man without 10 children is a man without a voice in the village meeting." When Emeka and Adaze met at a mutual friend's wedding in Victoria Island, the chemistry was undeniable. They danced, they laughed, they exchanged numbers. For 6 months they dated like lovebirds. But one evening at a rooftop restaurant in Gaa, Ikea, Emeka looked into Adaze's eyes and said something that should have been a red flag. "Adaze, my love, when we marry, you will give me 10 children." Adaze choked on her Chapman. She coughed and laughed. 10? Emeka, are you running a football team or a family? I came from a family of 4. I can do 3, maybe 4. But 10? That is a joke, right? Emeka smiled, but his eyes were serious. I don't joke with my legacy. I want 10. You will see. She brushed it off. After all, men always say things like that before marriage. She thought he would come to his senses. The newlyweds, a cloud of disagreements, they got married in a lavish ceremony in Owerri. The aso ebi was emerald green. The cow leg pepper soup was endless, and the high-life music made everyone dance until their legs ached. It was the wedding of the year. But on the first night, after the guests had left and the hotel room was silent, Emeka rolled over in bed and whispered, "So, when do we start the 10? Adaze sat up. "Emeka, it is our honeymoon. Let us not fight. I told you, I am not a baby-making machine. We will have children. Yes, but let God decide the number." Emeka's face darkened for a second, then he smiled. "Okay, my wife, we will see." The first year was bliss. They traveled, they ate out, they made love. Then came the first child, a bouncing baby boy named Chukwuebuka. Adaze was exhausted after the labor. It was a natural birth that lasted 14 hours. She tore, she bled, she cried. But when she saw the baby, she forgot the pain. Emeka walked into the hospital room with a wide grin. He held the baby, kissed Adaze's forehead and said, 9 more to go, my love. Adaze laughed weakly. "You must be joking. Let me heal first." But Emeka wasn't joking. Every night he would calculate on his fingers. 1 down, 9 left. We have 9 years left if we do one every year. She ignored him. She thought it was just his way of teasing. 2 years later, she gave birth to a second child, a beautiful girl named Chimamanda. The labor was slightly easier, but the postpartum depression hit her hard. She would cry for no reason. Her body changed. Her hips widened. Her belly sagged. And her back ached constantly. Emeka walked into the living room where she was breastfeeding, looked at the 2 children playing on the mat and said, 8 more, baby. You are getting there. That was the first time Adaze felt a flash of genuine anger. Emeka, if you say that again, I will pack my things and go back to my mother's house. He raised his hands in surrender. Okay. It is a joke. But it wasn't a joke. The 3rd child came 18 months later, another boy, Chinedu. By now, Adizu's body was tired. Her hair was thinning. She had developed high blood pressure. The doctor warned her to space her pregnancies. Doctor says I need to wait at least 2 years, she told Emeka. Emeka nodded, but that night he whispered, 2 years is too long. We have 7 more to go. Adaze cried herself to sleep. The 4th child, a girl named Ifananya, arrived when the 3rd was barely 1 year old. Adaze almost died during that delivery. The cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. She lost a lot of blood. She needed a transfusion. As she lay on the hospital bed, pale and weak, Emeka sat beside her and said, 6 left. You are strong. I knew it. That was the breaking point. Adaze looked at him with hollow eyes. Emeka, listen to me carefully. I will never, do you hear me? Never give birth to 10 children. I am not a cow. I am your wife. I love you. But you are killing me. Emeka's smile faded. For the first time, he looked genuinely confused. But I told you before we married. I want plenty of kids. You knew this. I thought you were joking. She screamed, causing a nurse to rush in. Who in their right mind wants 10 children in this economy? Do you know the cost of school fees? The cost of food? The cost of sanity? They argued for hours. Emeka accused her of deceiving him. She accused him of being a male chauvinist. It was the first crack in their marriage. The 5th pregnancy. The breaking point. Despite the arguments, despite the warnings, despite the doctor's orders, Adaze found herself pregnant again. The 5th child. This time, it was different. Her body had had enough. From the very first month, she was vomiting constantly. She couldn't keep down water. She had hyperemesis gravidarum, a severe form of morning sickness that left her bedridden. By the 5th month, her legs had started swelling like tree trunks. She had gestational diabetes. She had to inject herself with insulin every morning. Her back pain was so severe that she couldn't stand for more than 5 minutes. She would lie on the floor and cry, unable to get up. By the 7th month, she was a shadow of herself. She had dark circles under her eyes. Her once beautiful skin was patchy. She waddled like an old woman. She couldn't sleep because the baby kicked all night. She couldn't eat because of the heartburn. She couldn't breathe because the baby was pushing against her diaphragm. One night, at 2 a.m., Emeka came home from a late meeting. He found Adaze sitting on the edge of the bed, sobbing quietly, holding her massive belly. "What is wrong?" he asked, loosening his tie. "What is wrong?" she repeated, her voice trembling with exhaustion and rage. "I am carrying our 5th child, Emeka. My body is breaking. My organs are being crushed. I can't remember the last time I slept for 4 hours straight. And you walk around like it is nothing. You have no idea what this feels like." Emeka sat down and rubbed her back. "Come on, it can't be that bad. Women have been giving birth since the beginning of time. My mother had 11 children. She is fine." Adaze stared at him. In that moment, something inside her snapped. Not broke snapped. It was like a switch flipped. You know what, Emeka? She said quietly. I wish you could feel this. Just for one day. I wish you could wake up with this belly, these swollen feet, this back pain, this heartburn, this baby kicking your bladder every 5 minutes. Just for 24 hours. Then you would understand. Emeka laughed. If I could, I would. But I am a man. That is your job. Adaze didn't laugh. She just stared at the wall. And in her mind, a seed was planted. A dangerous, desperate, crazy seed. The old woman and the witch the next morning, after Emeka left for work, Adaze called her mother. Mummy, I need help. Emeka is driving me insane with this 10 children nonsense. Her mother sighed. My daughter, I warned you about men from polygamous families. They have different mindsets. But what can I do? I am old. No, Mummy. I need something else. I need someone spiritual. Someone who can make him understand my pain. There was a long pause. Then her mother said, there is an old woman in Ijebu Ode. Her name is Mama Boseed. She is not a witch, but she knows things. She knows people who can do unusual things. But be careful, Adaze. These things are not toys. That afternoon, Adaze drove to Ijebu Ode. It was a 3-hour drive from Lagos, but she didn't care. She found Mama Boseed in a small, dark room filled with strange calabashes, feathers, and the smell of burning herbs. Mama Boseed was ancient. Her eyes were milky white, but she saw everything. She looked at Adid's belly and smiled. You carry a girl this time, she said. I don't care about the gender, Ma. I need help. Adaze poured out her story, the 10 children, the pain, the lack of empathy from her husband, the 5th pregnancy that was breaking her. Mama Boseed listened without interrupting. When Adaze finished, the old woman laughed a dry, crackling laugh like leaves burning. You want him to feel your pain? Mama Boseed asked. Yes, just for 24 hours, not to hurt him. Just to make him understand. Mama Boseed nodded slowly. There is a witch in the forest of Ogba. Her name is Aya Olakan. She can swap the pregnancy. She can transfer the baby and all its weight, all its discomfort, all its pain, into the man's body for exactly 1 day. But it comes at a price. What price? Adaze asked, her heart pounding. For 24 hours you will feel nothing. You will be light. You will be free. But the moment the swap ends, the pain will return to you doubled for 1 hour. 1 hour of intense, doubled pain. Can you bear that? Adaze thought about it. Doubled pain? She was already in agony. What was 1 more hour of hell if it meant Emeka would finally understand? I can bear it, she said. Mama Boseed gave her a small black stone and a dried root. Chew this root tonight at midnight. Place the stone under your husband's pillow. He must not see it. At dawn, the swap will happen. At dawn the next day, it will end. Go now, and may your gods be with you. The swap. The man wakes up pregnant. That night, Adaze did as she was told. Emeka came home tired, ate his dinner, and fell asleep immediately. She slipped the black stone under his pillow. Then she chewed the bitter, terrible-tasting root. It tasted like ash and bile, but she swallowed it. She lay down beside him and waited. At exactly 5:47 a.m., just as the first light of dawn crept through the curtains, Emeka jerked awake with a scream. Ah, what is this? What is happening? He threw off the bedsheet and stared in horror at his body. His flat, muscular stomach was gone. In its place was a massive, round, hard belly, a pregnant belly, 7 months large. He sat up or tried to. The weight of the belly pulled him back down. He felt a sharp kick from the inside. The baby was moving. Adaze, wake up. Something is wrong with me. Adaze opened her eyes slowly. She felt light. Her own belly was flat. The pain was gone. The swelling was gone. She sat up easily, without groaning, without holding her back. She looked at Emeka, her husband, the man who wanted 10 children, now lying on the bed with a huge pregnant belly. His face pale with terror. "Oh my God, Emeka," she said, pretending to be shocked. "What happened to you?" "I don't know. I woke up like this. Call an ambulance. Call my mother. I am a man. Men don't carry babies." Adaze helped him stand up. The moment his feet touched the floor, he cried out. His ankles were swollen like inflated balloons. His lower back seized with a sharp, stabbing pain. My back, he screamed. "Welcome to my world," Adaze said quietly. But Emeka was too panicked to hear her. The longest 24 hours, a man's suffering, the first hour was chaos. Emeka tried to go to the bathroom, but he couldn't bend down to sit on the toilet because the belly was in the way. He had to pee standing up, but the baby was pressing on his bladder so hard that he almost peed on himself before he reached the toilet. "Why do I have to pee every 2 minutes?" he groaned. Adaze handed him a glass of water. "Because the baby is sitting on your bladder. Drink this. You need to stay hydrated." He pushed the glass away. "I can't drink. If I drink, I will pee again." At 8 a.m., he tried to eat breakfast. He took one bite of his bread and immediately felt fire rise up his throat. Heartburn. Vicious, burning, relentless heartburn. He grabbed his chest. "Am I having a heart attack?" "No," Adaze said calmly, eating her own breakfast with ease. "That's acid reflux. The baby is pushing on your stomach. Take some antacids." He swallowed 3 antacids. Nothing changed. By 10 a.m., he was lying on the couch, unable to move. The baby was kicking. Hard. He felt it in his ribs, his lungs, his kidneys. "Why is it kicking so much?" he cried. "Because it's healthy," Adaze said. "Also, you drank coffee yesterday. Caffeine makes babies active. You did this to yourself." At noon, he tried to walk to the kitchen. He took 3 steps and his back seized again. He fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "I can't do this. I can't. Take it out. Take the baby out." "You have 17 more hours," Adaze said, checking her phone. At 2 p.m., Emeka's mother called. He answered, sobbing. "Mummy, I am pregnant. I don't know how. I am dying." His mother laughed, thinking it was a joke. "My son, stop playing. Where is Adaze?" "Mummy, I am serious. I have a belly. The baby is kicking." She hung up on him. At 4 p.m., Emeka tried to lie down for a nap, but he couldn't lie on his back because the weight of the belly crushed his spine. He couldn't lie on his stomach for obvious reasons. He tried his left side. The baby kicked. He tried his right side. His hip screamed in pain. He ended up sleeping sitting up, surrounded by 7 pillows, drooling on himself. At 6 p.m., Adaze made dinner. The smell of stew hit Emeka's nose, and he immediately waddled to the bathroom and vomited. His sense of smell had become superhuman. The scent of tomatoes made him gag. "Why does everything smell so strong?" he asked, wiping his mouth. "Pregnancy knows," Adaze said. "You can smell a lie from a mile away. It's normal." At 8 p.m., he looked in the mirror. His face was puffy. His feet were so swollen he couldn't wear his slippers. He had developed dark patches of skin on his face, the mask of pregnancy. "I'm ugly," he whispered. "No, you are pregnant," Adaze corrected. At 10 p.m., he broke down completely. He sat on the floor of the living room, hugging his massive belly, sobbing like a child. Adaze, I am sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know it was like this. I thought women exaggerated. I thought you were being dramatic. But this is torture. How do you do this for 9 months? How do you do this 5 times? Adaze knelt beside him. For the first time, her heart softened. She saw real pain in his eyes. Real understanding. We do it because we love our children, she said. We do it because we have no choice. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Every single day hurts. I will never ask you for 10 children again, he promised through his tears. I swear on my father's grave. I swear on my life. No more. At midnight, the baby kicked so hard that Emeka screamed. He felt a strange sensation, a tightening. His entire belly hardened like a rock. What is this? What is happening? He panicked. Braxton Hicks, Adaze said. False labor. Your body is practicing for the real thing. Don't worry, it will pass. It passed after 45 minutes. By then, Emeka was exhausted beyond words. He had never been so tired in his life. His engineering projects, his deadlines, his business trips, they were nothing compared to 1 day of pregnancy. The return a new leaf. At exactly 5:47 a.m. the next morning, as the sun rose again, Emeka felt a sudden lightness. He looked down. His belly was gone. His ankles were normal. His back didn't hurt. He was a man again. He sat up and looked at Adaze. She was lying beside him, but her face was contorted in agony. The doubled pain for 1 hour had begun. Adaze, what is wrong? She couldn't speak. The pain of 5 pregnancies condensed into 1 hour of doubled intensity hit her like a freight train. She writhed on the bed, clutching her stomach, sweating, crying silently. Emeka held her. He didn't let go. He whispered, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here. For 1 hour, he stayed by her side, wiping her sweat, rubbing her back, feeding her ice chips. For 1 hour, he understood. When the pain finally subsided, Adaze collapsed into his arms, weak but smiling. Do you understand now? She whispered. I understand, he said, crying. I understand everything. The turning point forever changed from that day forward. Emeka Okoro was a changed man. He took over all the household chores. He woke up at night to help with the children. He attended every antenatal appointment. He rubbed Adeeze's feet every evening without being asked. He read books about pregnancy and childbirth. He learned the names of every hormone, every ligament, every organ involved. When Adaze finally gave birth to their 5th child, a healthy baby girl they named Aluchi, meaning God's work, Emeka was in the delivery room. He held her hand. He cried when she cried. He cut the umbilical cord with trembling hands. After the birth, he looked at Adaze and said, 5 is enough. 5 is perfect. We are done. And they were... He never mentioned 10 children again. Not once, not as a joke, not as a passing comment. He even became an advocate for women's reproductive health in his church and in his community. He would tell other men, if you have never carried a child for 1 day, you have no right to tell your wife how many children to have. People thought he was crazy. His polygamous father called him soft. His brothers mocked him. But Emeka didn't care. He had learned a lesson that no amount of village meetings or traditions could teach. Adaze, on the other hand, kept the black stone in a box under her bed. She never used it again. She didn't need to. Her husband had turned a new leaf. The moral: years later, their 5 children, Chukwuebuka, Chimamanda, Chinedu, Ifunanya, and Aluchi, grew up healthy, happy, and well-educated. Adaze returned to her career as a media consultant. Emeka supported her fully. They would sometimes laugh about the swap, but they never told the children the full story. It was their secret. A reminder that empathy is the greatest gift you can give your spouse. And whenever a young bride would come to Adaze complaining about her husband's demands, Adaze would smile and say, "If only he could walk a mile in your shoes." Or better yet, carry a baby for a day. But she never told them how. Some magic is too dangerous to share. Marriage is not about who is right. It is about who is willing to understand. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe for more African Tales. Comment below. Would you swap pregnancy with your husband for 24 hours? End.